What's going on, y'all? Tania B here. Uh, this video just wanted to tell my coming out story of becoming a lesbian. All right, so first off, I grew up in a very Christian home when I moved to Texas, and we would go to church like literally it felt like every day. Okay, at least 5 times out of 7 days. Like that's what it felt like to me, and sometimes literally it was 4 5 times out the week we was going when they had with them like church tours or revivals or something like that, because my stepmom was a pastor and my father was like an elder in the church, so we was in the church a lot. So being in such a church environment, it I've always would hear, stuff on like homosexuality, that it's like a sin and that it's like an abomination and it's like the worst thing ever that a person could possibly do, right? And so I'm thinking like, even though I probably would have lustful thoughts about dudes and stuff like that, or say cuss words and everything, I was like, well, whew, at least I ain't gay, right? At least I know God ain't gonna hate me for wanting to be with a woman. And so I grew up with that mentality, and I realized that it had developed into almost like a homophobia. And a lot of the people in my school, like I went to a really big school. It was about 5,000 students in my school in Texas, and it really wasn't that many gay people that I knew of. Maybe two, 3 people on like the basketball teams, like with like all of the basketball teams combined, that I knew of, that were gay. And I never really associated with myself. I was never like mean to them or anything, but I never like really associated with any. One of my friends, I knew she was gay, but we was cool. But I just didn't want anybody to come towards me in a gay way, because I thought that it was nasty. I thought it was disgusting. I thought that, oh, you definitely going to hell. And I was very judgmental when it came to things like that. And so never in a billion years did I think that I would be loving me some women, okay? And I remember one time sitting in one of my coaches, she had like a meeting or whatever with like us basketball girls, and we was like sitting on the floor, and she was sitting in this chair, and she was giving a talk, about life and everything, and life after high school, how it would be, blah blah blah. And I remember her saying, she was like, and at least 2 of y'all here would be gay. And I was like thinking to myself, like, shit, it ain't gonna be me. And I really believe that with all of my heart, right? I believe that with all of my heart. Anyways, when I was 15, I ended up having a dream, right, about one of my friends in high school who I was very close to. I had a dream about her, that me and her had kissed. And I woke up totally confused. And in my dream, I liked it a lot. So I woke up like super confused, right? Like, what the heck was that about? And so, ever since that day, I remember I was 15. I was a sophomore in high school, and it was in May. Okay, it was, yeah, because it was towards the end of the school year. I was about to go into the summertime and then go into my junior year of high school. And so I'm just like, what in the world was that? And it was just so weird, because I wasn't disgusted when I woke up. I was more curious. And it felt like the more that I kept thinking about the dream, the more the curiosity had just got stronger and stronger and stronger. And so I didn't know what to do. So of course, back in the day, that's when, the internet was just really coming out to like the homes and stuff like that. And so, I mean, if y'all probably in my age group, I definitely got up on AIM, AOL Instant Messenger, and straight up got in those chat rooms and just start, like looking and stuff, like exploring like in the bisexual groups and then like the gay groups and stuff like that. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like the internet is wild. And I'm like 16 at the time now, and so here I am, like talking to different people, and then I end up start talking to some girl or whatever on the internet. And like that was kind of like my first experience, like when it came to another person, because I was terrified to tell anybody of what I was feeling. And so then eventually I ended up moving to Texas. I mean, moving from Texas, and came back to Baltimore. And like, I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna be gay, right? I'm just gonna come out as gay. Still not to my family, but like when I go to my new school, I'm gonna like be like gay. I'm not gonna talk to no dudes, anything like that. Okay, and so here I am, like living like this basically double life. You know, I linked up with some of the gay girls in the high school, and you know, if the dudes try to talk to me, I'll just be like, nope, I'm not into dudes. I'm a lesbian, blah blah blah. Now, crazy thing is, I did get a boyfriend. Okay, I did get a boyfriend. He was probably like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years older than me. And I told him, I was like, look, because I was still battling very hard when it came to, you know, like my religion and like what was going on inside of me. And so I told him, I said, look, I realized that I like women, okay? However, I feel that is very wrong and I don't want to go to hell. So, you're going to be my boyfriend and you're going to be my last boyfriend. If it works, then perfectly, we can be together forever. If not, then I'm just going to strictly date women, okay? Because this battle is too strong right now. And so he's like, all right, cool, you know? And so we dated for a while and it just didn't work, you know, truthfully. Like, I was messing around with a girl while I was with him, and it just didn't work, and I couldn't keep it in no more, you know. I just told him straight up, like, look, I decided that I would like to just explore, you know, exclusively be with women, and I did not want to continue on anymore. And so we ended that and everything like that. And so I started dating another woman, and it was great. It was great in high school. She was still in the closet, and I was still in the closet, like with my family. And I remember, you know, like my aunt, she asked me before if I was like messing with that girl, because I guess like I always be like, yeah, I'm about to go over such and such house. And like spend the night or whatever. And it's so easy for like lesbians to like spend the night over each other's house, because I guess parents automatically might think like, oh, they're two girls, cool, at least it ain't no boys, right? So for us, it was just like awesome. And so, you know, we would spend the night, and you know, we would do and stuff like that. It was amazing. And I remember my aunt would ask me, and of course I just always denied it. Like, my aunt asked me maybe like 3 times if I was like a lesbian and stuff, and every single time I'd be like, no, you know, like, ew, gross. And so then so I ended up driving by that time, and I had like an air freshener. I had an air freshener in my car, and it was a rainbow air freshener. Like, it was like one of those like flower, kind of like Hawaiian type of flower, whatever, but it was like rainbow color. And truthfully, I did not pick it because it was like considered gay or anything like that. I just liked the color because it was pretty, right? And so I had put it in my car, and I remember my aunt boyfriend at the time. I guess he saw it, right? And he ended up asking my aunt. He was like, "You know your niece is gay, right?" And she was like, "What are you talking about?" No, she's not. And he said, "Uh-huh." He's like, she got the rainbow thing in her car, and that's for gay people. She's letting everybody else know that she's gay." And so my aunt ended up asking me. She was like, "Tania, such and such said, you know, that air freshener in your car is gay, like for gay people." She was like, "Are you gay?" And so now by this time, like, I am so tired of lying to myself and just lying to like my family and everything like that. Like, I was so tired of it. And so I couldn't lie anymore. And like, I didn't know I couldn't lie anymore. But when she asked me, I just blurted out yes. And I was just like, inside, I was like, what the fuck, Tania? But I had said yes so quickly that I guess it was just time, right? And I was like, yes. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I just said yes to her, right? And so she just looked at me a little shocked, right? And she was just like, oh, okay, well, don't cut off all your hair and dress like a boy. That was like the only thing that she said to me, right? That was it. And I just like, what? Because at the time, like I had like my hair was like spiking and stuff, you know, like how Halle Berry had hers back in the day. I had like one of those short, cute haircuts, and I was dressing like very feminine, so I didn't go through that phase. And no, I did not cut my hair off because I was gay. That's I can do another video on that later, but that's not the reason why I cut my hair. I just wanted to, and I started dressing like a guy. I'll do that on another video. And so yeah, so that was my coming out story when it came to my aunt. And when my dad, I did end up opening up to my dad after like years later, because I was terrified of him. Like I was more terrified of him out of everybody, not because like he was like abusive or anything like that, but because he was like very strict and very, very much into the church. And I ended up telling him because like he ended up getting sick with multiple sclerosis and stuff like that, and so I could tell that his health was really starting to dwindle a lot. And so that was one thing I didn't want to regret of not saying nothing to him. So I ended up saying something on the phone, because when we were talking about marriage and things like that, like my future, and I ended up telling him that I'm going to marry a female. And it got super quiet. And I said, "Did you hear me, Dad?" He was like, "Yeah." I said, "What did I say?" And he repeated it to me. And my heart is beating out my chest, y'all. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I cannot believe I just told this dude this, right? And so my heart just boom, 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 boom. And so that's when, like, I said, "Is it okay?" I said, "Because I would love to have you at the wedding." Even though I didn't have a girlfriend at the time, but it was just, you know, thinking about my future. And I said, "Wish you come?" And he got really quiet again. And he was saying, "Yes, I will come." And like after that moment, I was just like, man, I don't give a fuck. Who cares if I'm gay or not, you know? Because my auntie knew, you know, and my father know now. Everybody else, I don't care. I do not care. And so yeah, so that was my story. I was very fortunate enough that my loved ones accepted me, accepted my sexuality, accepted my girlfriends, you know, where like I can, you know, bring my girlfriends over, my family, and they are totally cool with it, you know, they love them and everything like that. I was very fortunate in that aspect, because I've heard horror stories of people where their outcomes were not as calm as mine were, and that's very unfortunate, you know. It really is. It truly is. But I just wanted to, you know, share my experience. If y'all have like a cool or, you know, coming out story or whatever, or maybe this will encourage somebody to like come out. I don't know. I don't know. But thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And definitely check out my other videos. You know, I know I do speak about lesbian domestic violence from the perspective of the actual aggressor, because I feel like the perpetrators and the aggressors, they need help too, if they know they need help, because it's not for everybody. Trust, I know it's not for everybody, but for those who really want to transform their behaviors, that's what I'm here for, to really just pioneer this thing and to really start helping people on that end, because it's a lot of support for, you know, survivors of people who have been abused. But you know, when you think about it, yes, they may get out the relationship, but what about the person who's actually doing the abusing? You know, more than likely, they're just going to go out and find another person that they can be an asshole to. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, the cycle's going to keep going and going. But if there's someone out there like myself who's willing to, you know, put myself on the line to help other people who were in positions like I was, you know, being controlling, being possessive, being jealous, you know, sometimes being physically abusive, verbally abusive to my girlfriends, and to start right there, then if they do end up breaking up, at least they know, like, the next relationship, God willing, it will be a lot different than the previous one. So I appreciate everyone watching. If you do want to, you know, have like maybe like a consultation or something like that with me and see if we are a good fit for each other, because I know everybody ain't gonna be a good fit, but some of us are. Just hit me up at 248-7-TENIA-B. That's 248-7-TENIA-B. That's TENIA-B. All right, guys, I love you. Keep loving yourself, and it's okay to be in the closet, you know, but you have to remember let's be true to ourselves, but let it be on your time, and never allow it to be somebody else forcing you to, you know, come out. Like, let it be on your terms when you are fully you may not really be comfortable. You probably never really be comfortable coming out, because I definitely wasn't. I know a lot of other people weren't really comfortable with it, but just be ready, you know. And yeah, you got this. All right, guys, I gotta get out of here. Peace.